message was, is that you have to have that recognition that everything is about due time, and it's about, I'm gonna take that back. It's not that it's about due time. It's about whether or not you want it to be in his will or your own. Because
Right.
God will sometimes give you, and I think you said something similar earlier, he will give you the desires of your heart, but that doesn't mean you hold on to them. That doesn't mean they won't slip through your fingers if you're not ready for it. And
Right.
so there's a piece about recognition in that space that I think is so incredibly important. It's a great lesson for people to learn.
Yes. And God is like amazing because if you ask for it, he'll show you little by little that you can have it. But take your time, young man. Mama used to say, don't be in no rush to get old. I gave you these steps. If you follow by them, you'll be where you need to be because I'm guiding you. But at the end of the day, stop giving up on yourself. Yeah, you're gonna have altercations because the other guy don't like what he got going for you. So he's gonna try to bring interruption. Now it's
Mhm.
up to you to recognize the interruption and say, call on him. He'll remove that interruption immediately. Call on him. See, we
Mhm.
forget to call on him when needed. Sometimes we call on him when we need. We forgot to call just because. We forgot to pray. That's what I mean by calling. Just because. He said, recognize me, man, when you wake up in the morning or throughout the day. I don't care. Just say hello to me. I say, what's up to you? I give you everything you ask for. When you gonna give me something? Just, and so that you can have this testimony and go tell some more people how good I am to you.
That's right.
It's like
Yeah.
that's all. I don't care. You got 24 hours in a day. All he asks, how hard was that?
Few minutes of prayer. That's what he's doing right now.
Yeah,
Couple
even
minutes.
a second. Hey, I just want to say that I love you, Lord. He said, no, he said, hey, thank you. Go on about today. It don't take long. But recognize where your blessings coming from.
Yeah, indeed.
All right? Recognize where your blessing coming from. This is a godly world. We just on earth, baby.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
You on
do.
earth, you're gonna go through some hell because you're dealing with a lot of different souls. Everybody not happy. Everybody not God fearing. It's a lot of devilish people that gotta be taught to come on the good side
Yeah.
because they get so much bad. And when they do bad, they think the money or they think they're getting over until hell hit them because you got to pay for that. You got to pay for that. See, but with God, your payment is beautiful. He bring you more at peace. He give you anything you ask for. But he said, talk about me. I give you more.
Mhm.
And I love you more because you love me more. I
That's
put you in
right.
a place of security,
That's right.
of great security, not sometimes security, because you ain't like the other guy. Oh, you ain't gonna do it? Okay, bring some more evil your way. You understand what I'm saying? Nah.
I do.
So make your choice on which God you're gonna pray to, or which God you're gonna serve. You know, we get ugly sometimes, so He only allow us to get but so ugly.
I would say that's true for those that submit to him, and because there are people out there, and maybe even some listening to this podcast that have not yet met him. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's important to know that,
Because they're not speaking to
people,
Him.
yeah,
They haven't met Him because they haven't speaking. They haven't spoken to Him. They ain't say hello. Well, He said just say hello. What?
agreed.
Once you start speaking to him, just saying hello. He gonna answer back.
Absolutely. He definitely will. But I also think it's the work for us to do in the world to really stand firmly on who we know that he has created us to be, because through us, his light comes through. Through us, his love comes through. The people that he puts in your life are a demonstration of his love and commitment to you.
That's right.
And so if we don't show up in a way that we're demonstrating love, we're blocking the opportunity to bring people to him. And I think that is so important for our listeners to know. I don't know if you've heard. No, you probably have not yet. But I've shared on the podcast that I'm an earth angel, and I identify as an earth angel. Like, I know that that is who I am. It took me a really long time to feel comfortable to share that, like, out in the
Well,
open.
you are an earth angel. You are. You know
I know
why?
I know. I felt like
Yes, and
I'm like
claim it.
I'm claiming
Yes,
it. I'm telling the
and,
world.
and there's millions of you out there. You know why?
There are
Because
lots of them out there.
right now,
They should all
right now,
say who they are.
well, right now, somebody is speaking on who? Your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you're an earth angel. Because why? We're sharing testimonies on how good God
That's right. That's right. That's right. God
you
is
know,
amazing.
it is
Amazing.
amazing. And
Yeah.
you got to give him all the recognition, you know what I'm saying? And don't ever be ashamed to say thank you, Lord. Thank you. Oh man, thank you.
I told you, listeners, I told you, he is a man in motion with lots of layers, right?
Oh man, thank
You see it, you hear it.
you. I'm just a
Um,
blue collar man with a high school diploma and a few trades under my belt. And just I was learned to pay attention. I learned to listen. You know, you'll learn. And God has blessed me with learning how to listen. And then He gives me the tools to learn. People come into your life even forever, for a season, or just for the day. But at the end of the day, He brings so many beautiful people around you that they help you grow because they want to see you grow because
mhm.
you're one of them earthly angels.
That's
Okay.
right.
All
Correct.
right. All right.
Accurate. That's absolutely accurate.
That's right.
I think you're incredibly humble. You know, you are an author, an entrepreneur. You've had multiple businesses. You have been in multiple movies. I
Mm.
mean, you've modeled and like you've done so much in this short amount of time because we're not
Mm.
that old, y'all. Even though he said beepers, in a short amount of
you know,
time. You've done a lot. You have traveled all over the place, you know, inside and outside the country. You spent time in Hollywood. Like, you've
yes.
done a lot. You were incredibly humble. And
Let me tell you something, right? Short story.
yeah.
Uh, I- when I was looking for a storefront, right, I was in the entertainment business of putting smile on women's faces. So I became the owner of it. And I promised myself I was going to stop between 30, 31. I was only going to give it 10 years because I started at 19, right? So I started owning the business. That's when websites started coming out. So I registered the website. I put it under my daughter and son name. My daughter is Kiara. My son is Jalil. I call it Key Ja Entertainment, Key and Ja. Knowing ingenuity justify appreciation, right? So now I got online, I got all the guys that I came up with, plus the new generation. I'm getting 30% for each contract. The women are like, it's so much more professional because they can go on the website now. They see 60 seconds of an entertainer. They get a bio of them. They got a gentleman shot, a body shot, and an outfit that you usually wear, right? So I got money coming in. I mean, they like, Wood, oh my gosh, man, thank you so much because these guys would have their own business cards. Some guys didn't. But me being expanding myself to multiple clubs and always out and about, that women started to see a business behind it and how clean it was and much easier it was besides coming to the club or a guy not showing up when he took their deposit. The guys knew I didn't play when it came to my business. You
Mhm.
found me once, it's over because I promised this woman with an agreement with my signature on it and I gave her the rules and the regulations, and she respected it in the time and the dates, and you messed it up. So I cut you off. I'll give you another shot. But at the end of the day, right? Time to move on. I'm looking for a storefront. I'm saying, man, I'm gonna get a storefront and put all these novelties and stuff in there, and romance books and adult toys, and I'm gonna have a lounge area where they can get the Victoria's Secret panties, the 5 for 20 or whatever. So I'm ordering from China, and I'm gonna set up for all the exotic women to wear the go-go boots. I'm gonna have the boots so they ain't got to go to New York now. Everything with concerning adult entertainment I was gonna have, right? And I'm big on it. I'm big on it. Storefronts at the time recession, dirt cheap, $1,100, $1,200. It's all in the ballpark. Everything going the right way. Nobody wanted to give me the store size that I needed for that price. But I know that stores are going out of business because internet world is coming. People are ordering online. I mean, storefronts are leaving like crazy. You know what he give me? A storefront with a steam table and a slop sink.
Like, this doesn't quite fit what I was planning. Where am I putting these novelties?
For $700, he gives me a storefront, okay, with a steam table, a slop sink, okay, and a hood, okay, for the stove, okay, but it doesn't have the fire extinguisher and everything that it needs that costs money to install it. But you got the hood, you got a steam table, slop sink. You know what he got me doing?
I know.
Feeding the people.
That's right.
You hear me? So understand something. God worked in mysterious ways. He pulled me away from something that he pulled me into to get me away from a negative life of putting cocaine into people's nose, okay? Crack that people in hell, and you know what I'm saying? And pull me away from that and say, yo, this young man and love women. He likes girls. He knows how to entertain. He put me in a world of moving from a negative lifestyle and put me in a positive lifestyle to put smile on people's faces, but also transition my life to move me away from ugliness because I didn't want to, I didn't like it myself, but I was doing it because I got addicted and accustomed to making fast money because I started hustling since I was in 8th grade. Right. And I come from a large family, so we didn't have much. So once I got accustomed to that certain amount of money, but then I was around devilish people. I got to fight. I'm getting shot at. I'm getting robbed. I'm fighting all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it made me a mean individual when he brought into the world a beautiful soul. My father was a pastor. My mother was an evangelist of music. What are you doing, Randy? But when you go into the earthly world, you never know, you know what I'm saying, what's in store for you.
Yeah.
So for him to transition my life when I left the exotic, the adult entertainment business, which I highly respect, and I don't shame it at all, and I would never shame it because it saved a young man's life, which was me.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. But then when I wanted to become the business mogul, all right, he said, that's it. You're gonna feed these people. And he allowed me to get a storefront for $700. Allowed me to feed people for $8 dinners and $6 dinners. Oxtails was the most expensive thing that I had on my menu for $14 a plate. Okay? And they get fresh homemade macaroni and cheese, fresh rice with gravy, collard greens that were cut up, soaked, marinated, cleaned, okay, seasoned very well. Gave me recipes from mama and my mother-in-law, all right, which was my son Jalil, my oldest son mother that raised me as well, that came in the kitchen and made sure that I had my pots up and running and made sure my recipes was on point. My mother and my mother-in-law. And I wasn't even with my son's mother, but she loved Randy, how Randy was raising her grandson. Okay? So when people help you and God bring people in your life, it's for a reason. All right? He took me away from opening that store and still selling sex. Okay? And put me into feeding people. And I fed people for 6 years. All right? And I ain't had to look back. I still sign contracts now because they came by the store and I still was relevant with signing contracts. He never shamed that. But he removed me slowly but surely to where I learned so much in the male exotic game. I became the owner. I became the host. I learned how to speak. I took the shyness away. You know what I'm saying? He put me on the stage in front of thousands of people. And
Mm.
then from there, before that, as I was a male exotic entertainer, and I became the owner, and I learned how to host, and I learned how to greet people. That was all of the molding and learning how to speak and how to carry yourself as a gentleman. Without pulling my pants down, I pull my pants up, even though I got taught as a young man from my father. But when you're catering to women, cater to them as a gentleman, not as a fucking thug. Excuse my French, but it's honesty. And then he had me feeding people. So, and what did God do? Listen and follow. And I never understood why. But at the end of the day, you learn and you sit back and think, I say, wow, God got me feeding these people, man. And they coming in and having conversation. They feel safe out here with me. They coming in the door, swinging doorway. I had a good landlord. The rent got backed up because I was going through the transition, and at the beginning, my grand opening for the whole weekend was a line outside. He gave me a landlord that had understanding. I paid all my bills and made sure things were point. He made sure every week I had money in my pocket, and still gave, you understand, and still let me have a 40-hour work week. He gave me a staff that I paid every week, never missed a beat. So
Amazing.
transition in life is crazy, but you got to give all thanks and glory to the man above and be thankful for transition. Be thankful for what you went through and ask for forgiveness from the negative that you had brought into that until you brought onto yourself. Because as we get older, we start smelling ourselves and feel like, I'm grown, I can do this. I'm grown, I can do what I want to do. Until the repercussion come back and you got to pay back. So it's like,
Yeah.
hey.
Yep. Yeah. Until source sits you down and is like, so no, that's not what I meant.
Right.
So
That's why I said
let me know when
follow
you
your
get right.
steps.
Follow those
Follow your
steps.
steps. 1 through 10 or 1 through 5. Whatever steps
Wow.
how many he gave you, follow them. But
Wow.
you will stray. But when you get back on track, you be like, because I remember when I didn't follow. You know what I'm saying? I went into a world it was not cool, But anything you ask for, Anika, the man above will give it.
Yeah, I believe that. I received that, and I know it to be true. He's working out some things in my life right now that I just am
Hey.
blowing away, situations that were just old and dead, and I just never would have thought that they would turn out the way that I see him working. And that's faith, though. Wood, you just have to have faith. You just have to trust him, and and be